TXS, TXS, TXS. This is TXS here, it's your boy Leader. What TXS is, we're a gaming channel. We're gonna have a Q&A pretty soon for like everyone that's gonna be joining the channel and stuff. So definitely, we want you to tune in to our Instagram and stuff like that. But there's 5 of us. It's me, I'm Leader. Then there's Ace, and there's Dime, Mute, and Buck. So yeah, so right now we're gonna watch this video, the best games of 2020 so far. So let's get right into it.
Much like the last transitional year for console gaming in 2013, 2020 has been a strong year for new games. Now that we're halfway through the year, we've compiled a list of every game that's received a review score of 8 or higher from IGN, assembled for you in ascending order. Whether you played Half-Life back in the day or not, Black Mesa is definitely the best way to experience one of the crown jewels of first-person shooter history. Bloodroots is dressed in a beautiful art design and coupled with a Tarantino-esque tale. Paper Cult elevates murderous mayhem with an intriguing world. Desperados 3 is an uncompromising tactical stealth game that tests your patience and rewards your willingness to experiment. Final Fantasy VII Remake's combat is top-notch, its enemy variety kept us constantly entertained, and seeing this snippet of story fleshed out with real emotional arcs and the previously hidden humanity behind Midgar filled us with pure joy. Gears Tactics is an excellent turn-based tactics game that does a superb job of melding Gears' famous style and action with the mechanics laid down by XCOM. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is one of Arc System Works' most approachable fighting games yet. It smartly balances considerations for more casual fighting game players without ever stepping on the toes of its hardcore audience. Kentucky Route Zero is a beautiful poetry generator in the body of a point-and-click adventure game.
Who is playing this, bro? Look at this game. Like, I would never in my life even think twice about picking this game up. Like, you know those type of games where you used to go to GameStop and you used to like, yeah, I don't know what that is. This would be on. I don't think this would be on the shelf. That's how. Okay, all right.
It's frequently stunning to look at and beautifully written throughout.
Stunning, man.
There's not much to Little Orpheus's gameplay apart from moving left to right, jumping and interacting with a few objects, but that's compensated by stellar voice acting and gorgeous settings to journey through.
From the beginning, then. But this had better be good.
The Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection is great thanks to the quality of its 6 included games. Playing handheld games on a 55-inch screen is fun enough on its own, but these games in particular look and play amazingly well. MLB The Show 20 doesn't break what wasn't broken. Developer Sony San Diego has tweaked and tightened everything that was presented in MLB The Show 19, and as a result, playing baseball on a console has never been this fluid. Moving Out is an absolute blast. It takes a simple set of mechanics and milks madness and mirth from them in equal measures, consistently shaking up the parameters and keeping you on your toes. Murder by Numbers successfully blends a Phoenix Wright-style visual novel with a Picross-style puzzle game by making each aspect great in its own right.
Yeah, we're playing puzzle games now. I'm thinking they're cool.
One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 smart additions to combat go a long way in reducing...
How does all of them go in the same animation? They're not all getting hit. They're all like how? Like, look.
The notorious...
Every last one of them are in the same animation.
Typically plays the Musou genre. An earnest, unapologetically tricky, and time-consuming trucking experience, SnowRunner's peculiar brand of off-road ordeals is oddly addictive, deep, and rewarding when played in the right spirit.
I'd be bored.
The third version of the Super Mega Baseball franchise doesn't reinvent the gameplay, which remains as grounded and easy to play as ever. However, it does add a wealth of features that make upgrading worth the price. Them's Fightin' Herds nails the important things like great netcode, quick rematches, and tight combat with a cast of fun and remarkably diverse characters, while
It's like the
introducing
party that
fun
they used to
things like
put
an
on,
innovative story
like
and
Nickelodeon and
sprite-based
that.
online lobbies.
I forget what they called.
Trials of Mana is absolutely charming and does an excellent job keeping what works from the original while upgrading its aesthetics to the modern era. Exploring, battling, and waging war with bosses all remain really fun, and its JRPG tropes come off as delightful throwbacks rather than eye-rolling cliches. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is the remaster that this respected JRPG deserves. The impressive graphical overhaul and welcome, if small, quality of life improvements make this the best version of Xenoblade Chronicles we've ever had.
It's not over yet! Don't!
Animal Crossing New Horizons is an expanded, polished, next-generation reboot of a classic Nintendo game. Perhaps more importantly, like Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey before it, Animal Crossing's New Horizons is full of delightful surprises. Deep Rock Galactic is the best kind of 4-player co-op game. The combat is fast and exciting, with tons of interesting synergies to find between the 4 distinct playable classes, and the objectives on the various missions are wide-ranging enough to keep things interesting. Overall, it's not surprising that Doom Eternal is excellent in following up 2016's Doom. Eternal tips its cap to Doom 2 specifically, while also building off what made the modernized reboot a breath of fresh air for the genre.
The only thing they fear is you.
It's a cliche, but Dreams really is something that needs to be played to fully grasp an understanding of. It's unlike anything else, an ambitious project that has been expertly brought to life by Media Molecule, and an audacious experiment in game design that gives you endless ways to enjoy your time with it.
Whoa.
Legends of Runeterra is a whole new breed of CCG. While it builds on the foundations of those that have come before it, it has discarded many of the genre's conventions to create deep and dynamic conversational gameplay. Neo 2 is an impressive evolution of its predecessor, strengthening everything that was already great, while mostly leaving its already existing issues alone. If you're up to the challenge, Neo 2 is no doubt one of the most difficult and rewarding games of this generation. In Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Moon Studios has taken an excellent foundation and made even more out of it. Its many new elements expand on and add to the first game's fun without bogging it down or becoming overcomplicated. Overall, Resident Evil 3 is a wonderful continuation of Capcom's latest remake efforts, balancing 2020 gameplay and a classic Resident Evil tone. Hopefully, we'll see more classic games in Capcom's library remade with such finesse and loving care. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a noteworthy step forward for VR gaming, proving that a Deus Ex-like action RPG can feel right at home in a headset. Every one of its many interwoven systems clearly has a level of thought and care behind it, swirling survival horror and role-playing staples together with nuance.
Heaven is turned against us, and hell is rising up.
The Wonderful 101 is one of the best action games of a generation, and one that has tragically, until now, been locked on a relatively niche console. This remaster is the best way to play this hidden gem, which is something that we can't recommend strongly enough. Valorant is the most fun we've had with a multiplayer FPS since Valve's Team Fortress 2. The flexibility of its magically infused cast paired with a deep arsenal makes for a magnificent competitive canvas. With Half-Life Alyx, Valve has set a new bar for VR in interactivity, detail, and level design, showing what can happen when a world-class developer goes all in on the new frontier of technology. In a lot of ways, it feels like a game from the future, and one that the rest of VR gaming will likely take a good long while to match, much less surpass.
Alex Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey!
Persona 5 was already a strong frontrunner for being the best JRPG ever made, and Royal gets us wondering what else could even compete. The excellent story and its lovable multi-dimensional characters, along with the challenging tactical combat, are all refined and back for another round with new surprises and new friends in tow.
Sorry.
The Last of Us Part 2 is a masterpiece worthy of its predecessor. Taking strides forward in nearly every way, Ellie steps into the spotlight and carries the sequel in a manner that feels like the culmination of everything that's made Naughty Dog's blockbuster storytelling so memorable since the original Uncharted. The PlayStation 4 has one of its best exclusives in one of the generation's best games.
I told you. You should be terrified.
And there you have it, the best games of 2020 so far. But of course, we've still got Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Marvel's Avengers, and many, many more this year. What are your favorite games of 2020? Let us know in the comments, and for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.
I'm really happy that I didn't put none of the trash games in, because that would have really pissed me off, you know, like, yeah. But, yeah, so that's gonna cap off the video. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna come with more stuff, more reactions. Don't forget Q&A coming soon. Streams coming soon. Clips coming soon. Don't worry. We're gonna be here for a while. Just stay tuned. Alright, we out of here.